Good morning, Nicole here, registered dietitian and owner of Eat Well Halifax. So I'm really glad to be back to my Wellness Tips Tuesday videos. I took a break last week, of course, for the 5-day sugar challenge, and if you happen to have participated or watched any of the videos, I certainly hope that you learned something from the challenge. I know I learned a lot about myself, and I certainly hope I gave you some information to help you sort of continue improving your health and your wellness. So that was the idea, of course, is to just learn about where sugars are hidden and what we can do to lower our sugar intake. So today I wanted to talk about the difference between lactose intolerance and a dairy allergy. These terms seem to get misconstrued quite often, and they can be pretty confusing. So I'm just going to explain what the difference is here. So it is the holidays, so I've decided that I'm going to do a little bit of a giveaway. So if you happen to like, comment, or share this video, then I'm going to put your name in a draw that so that you can win a holiday gift basket of all locally sourced goods. So all wellness, all natural, all locally sourced goods. This can be for a friend or family member, or of course you can keep it for yourself, but a nice holiday gift basket. So that will be done on Saturday if you happen to like, comment, or share my video. So just another note that I'm going to keep my opinion sort of out of this. I want to help everyone with their dietary choices and just to optimize their intake and your intake. So if you choose a dairy-free diet or a low-dairy diet, I'm here to help you. If you want to include dairy in your diet, that's great as well. If you're going to avoid dairy, it is important to, of course, replace the nutrients that are found in dairy products. So that's another thing that I can help you with as well. So just making sure that you understand that I'm just giving facts here. I'm not on any particular side of the stories here. So this is just a pretty simple explanation between dairy allergy and lactose intolerance. But if there's anything else that you'd like me to talk about in terms of dairy intake, by all means, I'm more than happy to chat, or you can comment below, or you can ask for a video on anything related to dairy intake, of course. That's perfectly fine for me. So lactose intolerance. So an intolerance is when we have the inability to break down or use something that we're eating. So in the case of lactose intolerance, we actually don't produce enough or any of the lactase enzyme. The enzyme will break down the lactose that we eat. So lactose intolerance is actually really common, especially amongst various ethnic backgrounds. So a large percent of the adult population have some sort of lactose intolerance where you may feel symptoms from eating lactose, such as pain, gas, bloating. If you have lactose intolerance, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's incredibly uncomfortable when you have lactose in the body that your body can't actually use. Some people might take lactase enzymes orally so they can use or eat dairy, but otherwise you are going to have symptoms if you have too much or even a little bit of lactose, depending on, again, where you're at on that spectrum. So a lactose intolerance is the ability to use the lactose sugar found in dairy. So lactose is dairy sugar found in milk, yogurt, sour cream, even ice cream. It's even hidden in a lot of the processed foods on the market. So you have to be aware of lactose being found in something that you didn't even think that it would be found in. So it could be found in whey products or in high protein products. It could be found in even crackers and cookies, or anything that happens to have milk that you're not even aware of. You see that a little bit more with whey and casein, which is something that I'm going to get into later. Where we don't see lactose is another interesting story. If you have lactose intolerance, you can usually have some cheeses. So for example, due to the cheese making process, hard cheddars, old cheddars, hard cheeses, and old cheeses, also including mozzarella, Swiss, even Parmesans, they actually don't really have lactose because of the way the cheese is made. You usually lose the lactose when the whey is sort of taken out of the cheese or the curd in the cheese making process. So the whey is where all of the lactose is, and you're left with a cheese curd, which is, of course, your cheese. Actually, cheese curds themselves do have some lactose, so you do need to be aware. If you look on the back of a label of a dairy product and there's no added sugar, but there's lactose in the product, or that there's sugar in the product, then that means that it's in the form of lactose. The naturally occurring sugars found in dairy is the lactose. So there's no added sugar, but there's sugar on the nutrition fact table, then there's lactose in the product. So on cheeses, you don't see that there's any sugar. There's 0 grams of sugar in a lot of the cheeses available. That's because all the lactose was removed in the process of making cheese. So if that was a little bit confusing to you, you might want to go back to a video that I did last week on reading sugars on nutrition labels. It's going to help clear what I just set up. Basically, if there's no sugar in the product, there's no lactose in the dairy product. So it's a good way of looking at it, just so that you're aware. A lot of cheeses do not have lactose. Not to say they might not cause problems. Some people who are lactose intolerant might have a problem with these cheeses. So everyone's very different. It's really important to figure that out for you and what works best for you. So a dairy allergy is quite different. You can have an allergy to really any of the proteins in the dairy, but we normally think of casein or whey being the problem. So this is a really interesting topic right now because we're discovering a lot about the caseins in dairy products. So there's beta casein A1, beta casein A2. Most of the problems with allergies is the protein in A1 beta casein, not A2, which is really interesting. So when you have an allergy, when you think of any allergy, you're going to see symptoms such as respiratory problems, hives, even rashes, inflammation. You can also have GI symptoms as you see in intolerance, such as, again, gas, pain, bloating, but mostly you're going to see the more immune system responses, which is what an allergy is. It's immune system response. Your body sees a protein that your immune system like sort of freaks out about, and you produce histamine, and the histamine causes inflammation and the allergic reaction to help sort of remove or to kill off the allergen. That's what an allergy is in general. So that's where all of the inflammation comes from. You might have nasal congestion as well with an allergy. So most of the time we see problems with the A2 casein. Now, with the A1 casein. A1 casein is newer. It's due to a genetic mutation over time of producing dairy cattle. So some people who can tolerate goat's milk and sheep milk actually have an intolerance or an allergy, to the A1 casein, not the A2. So we do see a lot of people who can't handle cow dairy, who can handle goat and sheep dairy, and that's usually because their intolerance is to the A1, which was a genetic mutation. That's pretty common these days. So normally when we see allergies, we often see problems with the A1 casein. So that's also why you might say, well, I have a problem with cow, but I don't have a problem with goat. That's usually why. So there's a lot more to that story. We also see that A1 is associated with inflammation and a lot of other problems. So just to keep in mind that there's sort of a lot going on there. The difference between the intolerance and the allergy is sort of what I was just saying, but there's a lot going on there. So I'm already at 8 minutes in this video. I'm going to sort of stop there. If you have any questions about what I just talked about, that was a really heavy subject in 8 minutes, so I totally understand. If you want to message below, if you want to private message me with any questions about that, especially if you're having any symptoms. So just a final note, there are just a handful of spots left in my New Year's program, which is the 12 weeks to optimize health. In this program, we are focusing on decreasing sugar cravings, helping with weight loss, and reducing inflammation. This is a really fantastic program for anyone who's just trying to jumpstart to a super healthy lifestyle, and I'm on board with you. I'm there to help you. I'm there to support you. Thanks again for watching my video today. Like, share, or comment, and you will be put into a draw for a free holiday gift basket. And again, please don't hesitate to ask me any questions at all or message me. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Thank you so much, and eat well, Halifax.